Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And guess what? Removing background with the magic mask just got a whole lot simpler. Hold on, changing the background is a breeze too. You can opt in for the straightforward method, which isn't too shabby, or you're feeling a bit adventurous, we can crank it up a notch using expressions to elevate that background change. Stick around for the magic. It's background changing made easy. Okay, so we are going to begin with heading to the computer and we are going to start by using Magic Mask to remove the background. Well, actually, we are trying to change the background, but they are actually the same process. So let's head to the computer. Okay, so now we are in our DaVinci Resolve page. I have a clip here already selected. This is where I'm trying to change the background as you saw in my intro. So I've selected the clip where I want to change the background and I'm going to head to the color page. Keep in mind that we could also do this in the Fusion page, but the color page seems to be a bit easier. By the way, we are going to use both. So I'm going to use the color page and I'm going to use the Fusion page. So right now, let's use the color page. Okay, so I've selected the clip where I want to change the background or remove the background. Now I'm going to head to the color page. Okay, now we are going to select the magic mask. Okay, right here we could choose the person mask or we could choose the object mask. You could go with faster or better. Hence the name. If you click faster, it's going to go faster. If you click better, it's going to be more defined, but it's going to take a bit more time. Okay, so depending on your machine, it could be faster or it could be slower. Me, I like to choose better. Okay, my computer can handle it just a little bit. You have this plus selected and you're simply going to hit a stroke to the object or the person that you want to highlight. Okay, or you have to choose an object where you want to let DaVinci know what you want to remove. Okay, so you could also toggle the mask overlay to also know what have been selected. Okay, so as you can see, this part have been selected. Okay, and as you can see, my hand over here has not been selected, so you can simply draw a line there as well, and boom, it's now selected. Okay, and there's a little bit here that's not been selected. Draw a line there too. Okay, I'm going to draw a line on the chair. Okay, the chair has been selected. The chair over here has been selected. And okay, right here has not been selected as well. Okay, just make sure we select all the areas. Okay, now if we are feeling okay with our selection, we can now track back and forth. Okay, so that way you could track the entire clip that you've chosen to work with. Okay, so now we could go over here with this sign going back and forward. Okay, forward and backwards. All right, and we're gonna click there and the machine is gonna start tracking. Actually, the tracking process is actually pretty fast, especially if you are using 30 frames per second. As you can see, it's actually under 1 minute, which is pretty fast. And it's actually in better. Okay. And it's going absolutely fast. But keep in mind, if you are using 60 frames per second, it's going to take a bit more time because you have more frames to go through. Okay. So keep that in mind. Okay. So, booyah. And it's fast. And it is done. So what we can do now is open up our node. Okay. And simply we're going to add an alpha output. Add. So right click any empty space area. When you right click any space around this area, you are going to see a bunch of options and you are simply going to select add alpha output. When you do that, you are going to see a bluish circle in this corner right here. Okay, so all you have to do now is to drag this point to the circle. Okay, and toggle this off, and your background has been removed. Okay, we are going to go back to the edit page now, So now it's a matter of just changing the background with an image that you have. So I'm going to look for an image and I'm going to change the background with it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise this clip to the next track. Okay. So that I could actually put that image underneath it. Okay. So I'm going to select this, going to option select. So that way only going to select the video track on top. And I'm going to just move this, hold shift, move it up. So that way it doesn't actually shift here from left to right. Okay, so I'm going to go to my image and I'm going to get an image to put as a background. All right. So guys, it doesn't actually matter what image I use. I'm only trying to just show you guys how to do this. Okay, so I'm going to use a random image to change the background. I've gotten a couple of images. What I'm going to do is simple, drag these images and put it below this track right here. So now, as you can see, we need a bit of work here to do. It says the mic was not selected. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and I'm going to select that mic. Okay, so I'm going to add this mic. Okay, so if you make a mistake, you will always come back and you go correct it. Okay, so as you can see, the mic wasn't selected and it wasn't looking too good. So I have to come in here and I have to change this. So remember, after doing it, you also have to track, okay, back and forth. This time around, it's even going to be faster because some parts have already been tracked already. Okay, so this one took seconds. I think it was 10 seconds. Booyah. And move the toggle. You're going to have to go back and forth to make it perfect. But usually, depending on how the video was taken, usually all you need is that first time only. But this isn't perfect, but at least you get the idea. And so, okay, so that's how you could just use Magic Mask to change the background, which is pretty easy. But what if you are dealing with multiple images and you want to be a bit creative? This is where you could use expressions to elevate that background change. Okay, so that's what we are going to do next. Okay, so let us try using expression this time, because I have two clips right here and I'm trying to use fusion with these two clips. There are several things I could do here. Okay, I could use adjustment clip, which is going to be the easiest method to use, or you could actually join this using fusion. What is it called? I think it's new clip fusion. Okay, but I'm going to use adjustment clip, okay, which is the easiest because I'm going to use these two clips here. That's why I'm using adjustment clip. Okay, so I'm going to select adjustment clip and I'm going to head on to fusion. Okay, so we are also going to use the magic mask first here in fusion. Okay, it's actually quite similar with the color page. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit shift and spacebar. Okay, look for magic mask, same tool that we use in color page. Okay, so look for magic mask, select magic mask and select add. Okay, so now we are going to do the same thing. So I do like to always choose better. Okay, just because I don't know why, but it's not that slow and the clip isn't that long and it's 30 frames per second. So I don't see the reason why to use faster. Okay, so sometimes you might need to click magic mask, or you could select two windows to use one for the media and one for outcome. So that way you could actually view what you are selecting. All right, you could zoom in if you would like. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, so you're going to have to make sure to draw perfectly what you would like to appear. So I'm just going to draw a lot just because I learned from my color page that you need to define the places that you want to be visible. Okay, hopefully this one is smoother than color page, but I think they are about the same as how better they do work. Okay, so like we did in color page, we are going to track on both sides. Okay, so select track and let magic do its thing. Again, if you are using 30 frames per second, it's going to go a lot faster. 60 frames per second is almost half the speed, again, because you are going through 2 times the image. Okay, so I see I'm going to have to do this again because I could already see the gap. So we got more work to do. It's not really that difficult. So we just have to go back to the first frame of that area that was not selected. Okay, so we're gonna go back there. Okay, it seems it started off from this frame. Okay, so now we are gonna go back here and select these frames again. Okay, so now we could play this. It gets a bit choppy here, so okay, so that's good enough. But what I did here is this should have been a foreground because I'm gonna add a background. And for me to disconnect this, that might cause problems to my work. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a merge because I need to add background, and I already use this as background, and the background node has to be behind this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect this. I'm gonna bring a background, and I'm gonna connect the background to the output, and I'm gonna connect this to this. Okay, so, and I'm going to reduce the background to alpha. Boom. So now it's now a foreground. I needed to do that because I used the media in as the main background. So as a main background, it's going to be difficult to add other background. Okay. And so in order to fix that, we transform the background to a foreground by using the merge node. Okay, so let's make this one viewer. Let us also add a video. Okay, so let's use video for example. I'm going to bring a video clip down here. I'm going to use the blue light. I'm going to use wildlife. Okay, I could also use pictures for this. Okay, so I'm going to mix this up with the background. So the easy thing to do to change the background is to simply add this to this, and bang, you have changed the background. But this is similar thing that we did with the color page and the edit page. Okay, and we could add another background. Okay, but what I want to do is to change the background from one clip to the next clip. Okay, and we can make it fun somehow. Okay, let's try something here. So we are going to use transform node to do this. What we could do here now, we could use a whip effect. Okay, and it looks like the push effect, but it's not the same because we could do cooler stuff with it. All right, so let's try something here. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's put another background as well. So we are going to look for background, and let's design this background to a certain color. Okay, but let me put this to the viewer so you know what I'm doing here. I just want to design this color a little bit more. All right, so what I want to do now is to bring another node here and connect Eclipse node to this. We're gonna add this color, so we're gonna add this node here, and okay, well, I'm doing this just to design it. Okay, not too much, just it's not really important, it's just to design it. Okay, so invert software. So this is not anything too fancy other than just design the background. Okay, so well, you are only seeing this because of the position of where I place this. Okay, so I believe you've watched my node explanations on Fusion. So the arrangement determine what you see and what you do not see. Okay, so if I take this out, then you are going to see this background here. If I take this out, then you are going to see this background here. Okay, so forth and so on. Okay, so but they're there. It's just that one is blocking each other. All right, so we are going to do cool stuff with expressions here. All right, so all of them I had transform node because the expressions, we are going to use expression to roll our expressions. All right, so we are going to use transform 1 to control transform 2 and transform 3. All right, so we are going to write expression here on transform 2. So we are going to go to the centers. We are going to right click, select expressions. So here we are going to write up transform dot transform 1 actually transform 1 dot center dot x. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to add 1 to it. So plus 1. Okay, so what that means is this image you see here from here to here is 1, and this is the center. So if I put plus 1, the next image is going to be right at the side of it. Okay, boom. I hit enter. Let's make this smaller. So that image is right next to it. Okay, so that's why we hit plus 1. So now transform 2 is right next to our transform 1. Okay, so we are going to go to transform 3, and now we are going to do the same. Right click, expressions, and we are also going to use transform 1 to control transform 3. So same transform 1 dot center dot x. Okay, so transform 2 is plus 1. If we put plus 1 here, that means transform 3 and transform 2 is going to occupy the same space. So what we want to do is add 2. So it's going to be right next to transform 2. All right, basic math. So plus 2, hit enter. So now they are all next to each other. Okay, so it gets interesting. Okay, so let's push this away. Let's make this bigger. Oh, I'm making it smaller. Okay. So now, if I select transform 1, look what I could do now. Okay, so I could just move this, boom. Move this, boom, because they're all attached to each other. All right. You see that? So now that they are all attached to each other, what we can do now is to animate. We could let our animation run wide. Okay, so let's try an animation here. The next thing we could do also is to add transform node here. Since they are all attached to each other, we could just add another transform node here. The reason why is because everything that I do here is actually going to affect, for instance, if I reduce the size here at transform 1, because I didn't attach the size to each other, it's only going to reduce 1. Okay. But if I go here and I reduce the size, it's going to reduce all the size and they are still attached to each other. Okay. Okay. So this is how we could make interesting animations. All right. That's why I've added another transformation to control all of it. Okay. So that's where we could actually make interesting animations. All right. So let's put this back. All right. So we are going to start with from 0 to 10. Okay. So we're going to select this from 0 to 10. This is going to be minus 0.5. Boom. Okay. Now for a bit. Animation. Take it to 40. Then we're going to change this to 1.5. Okay. So let's play this. Boom. Boom. Okay, so that's cool, but that could just look like a regular background switch. It's not actually a regular background switch. Okay, it's like a whip effect. Okay, but sometimes you might not notice the whip effect. Okay, so in order to let it be known that it's a whip effect, we are going to change the size and put the size big again at the end. Okay, so this is where this transform node was added. So what I'm going to do here now is animate two different things, which is the size and the center. All right, so I'm going to animate the size first, then I start to animate the center, or I could make it overlap. Okay, so I'm going to start from 65. Okay, boom, 65 to 75. Okay, I'm going to reduce this to 0.75. Let's make it maybe 6.5. So that's cool. So this time around, I'm not going to stop in the middle. I'm going to put the animation from 70. We're going to animate the center, and we are going to make this center. Let's make it to 100. Okay, then we are going to change this back to the first one that we had, which is 0.5. Boom. Okay, and then from 95 with the size, we're gonna boom select animation for the size, and 200 we're gonna put the size right back to 1. So by the way, I just came up with this animation at the spot, so sometimes it's not, let's play this. So fast, so good. I guess my computer is not as quick as it should. Okay, so we'll reduce it, brought it all the way back. Anyway, you should see this on my intro, so that's where you're going to play this, and I'm also going to play it at the end as well. Okay guys, also keep in mind that when you use a magic mask on the Fusion page, it does tax the computer, so your computer do slow down drastically, so keep that in mind. So that's why when I'm playing it back here, it's actually pretty slow. I guess I did a good job here, so I'm going to go to the spline. I'm going to select transform 4. We're going to make this big. Okay, so what I want is I'm going to make this here smooth. I'm going to make here smooth, and I'm going to make over here smooth. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like this. I'm using my imagination right now, and hopefully that comes out good. Okay, so I believe that's all that I want. So guys, this is how you could use expressions to elevate your background change and make it look cooler. So guys, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you learned something, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to know when my next video is coming, make sure to hit that notification bell. Okay guys, like and share, and I will catch you on the next video.